Hey guys, welcome back to the House of Wrinkles, bringing you the how-to for English Bulldogs and other canine tips and tricks. Today we have Hallie here, and she's getting ready to go to her new home in North Carolina. So we've been working with her for a couple of weeks, and we want to just share with you guys a couple of tips on potty training. So a lot of you may be getting ready to bring home your new puppy, or maybe you already have a new puppy and you're having some trouble. So hopefully some tips that we share with you today will help. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is Eric and I, we crate train. So this video will be all about how to crate train your new puppy. The very first thing that I want to tell you is the most important tip, I feel like. I get a lot of people ask about potty training. They say their puppy is peeing or having accidents all over the house. So what I want to share is your puppy does not need access to your whole house. The first thing to remember is your puppy is like a newborn baby. If you brought your baby home and it crawled around the floor, didn't have a diaper on, it's gonna have accidents. So what you have to do is you have to create boundaries for your puppy. During playtime, you want to make sure that you have set boundaries and don't let that puppy go out of your sight or away from your reach. Like right now, this is her playtime, and I'm here on the floor with her, and I've got her toys here, and I'm making sure that if she gets up and she starts roaming around, I'm right here close where I can pick her up and take her outside. So you're gonna have to set times where there's time to eat, time to play, time to potty, those type of things. So you don't want to just bring your puppies home and just let it follow you around the house and expect it not to have accidents, because that is unrealistic. So first thing is boundaries. The second thing is your puppy, one good rule of thumb is that your puppy can hold it the same amount of hours as months that it's old. So in other words, if your puppy is 2 months old or 8 weeks old, that means your puppy can realistically hold their bladder for 2 hours. So, and so on and so on. So as your puppy is growing and getting older, you can lengthen the time in between you taking it outside. So you kind of want to use that as a rule of thumb. This puppy, little Miss Hallie, she is 10 weeks old, so realistically she could hold it for about 2.5 hours. So that means every 2.5 hours, as her parent, it's my responsibility to make sure that she goes outside every 2.5 hours. Now, this is a lot of work, so no one said that puppy training is easy. So you do have to put a lot of work into it. Obviously, if you're at work and you're not home, you have no choice but to let the puppy stay in its crate for longer than 2.5 hours. But when you're home, you want to stick to that rule. So if you decide to crate train, Eric and I both believe strongly that you should completely cut out puppy pads. If you have puppy pads laying around and you're trying to teach your puppy to go outside and potty, that's very confusing. So you want to choose one or the other, and we obviously stand behind the crate training. Now, for a crate, you want to get, ideally, a crate, whether it's big or small, you want to make sure that your puppy only has enough room to stand up and turn around. You do not want to give your puppy access to a large crate that will give it the opportunity to potty in one area and sleep in another. You want to make sure that it doesn't have any room to potty, because ideally puppies learn quickly that they don't want to potty in their personal space. So that's kind of the idea. Another thing to remember about crate training is a lot of people have the preconceived idea that crate training is cruel, which is completely incorrect. Puppies really, they're like denning animals, kind of like foxes. They find security in small, close spaces. Now, that's not to say that your puppy's not going to cry when they're in there just because they're not used to it and they don't understand. They want to be out and play with you or whatever, and that's important, but you want to make sure that you don't use the crate as a punishment, because you want to teach the puppy that that is their safe place, that is their good place. So you never want to you never want to punish your puppy by putting it in the crate, because that will teach it not to like the crate at all. So another tip is to make sure that before your puppy eats, you want to take the puppy out directly before it eats and directly after. Or if it's playtime, you want to take the puppy directly outside to potty before and after playtime. So you don't want to do just one. You want to make sure that you do it before and after, both times. Another important tip is when you're training your puppy, you want to make sure, especially when it's very young, that you have the crate really close to the door that you're going to use. You want to ideally use the same door every time to go in and out to go potty. You want to pick your puppy up straight out of the crate and not let its feet touch the floor, and take it straight out and put it down into the grass and tell it to go potty. You have to really communicate and use words with your puppy, because that's how they learn. When they hear the same words over and over, that is what triggers and helps them to learn commands. So you want to tell them, go potty, or whatever, whatever phrase you choose to use. Ain't that right, little girl? Make sure that you give your puppy lots and lots of praise. Good girl, when she potties outside, so that she knows that you're happy with what she did and that she did a good thing. Okay, so let's talk about nighttime. Nighttime is a little bit different, and we're going to give you a few tips that are going to help you get through the night. Now, it's not going to be easy, but one thing you can do is make sure that you feed your puppy several hours, about 3 hours before bedtime, at least. Give them 3 hours. No food or water after that feeding. Put the food and water up. And also, puppies can hold it a little bit longer. So the rule that we talked about earlier is a little bit different at night. They can hold it a couple of hours longer at night. So what you want to ideally do is take your puppy out right before bedtime. Then put it in its crate. It's time for bed. Set an alarm and make sure that you get up and take your puppy out in the middle of the night. It's going to help your puppy to understand that you do not want them using the crate. Now, they will have accidents. It's going to happen. You have to be patient. And what we do is you can clean out their crate with apple cider vinegar and water. It's a cheap way to clean the crate. It's also a safe way to clean the crate for the puppy. It's not any harmful chemicals. One really good tip to teach your puppy that the crate is a good place, besides having safe toys in there for them to play with, is to not force them into the crate. You want to give them a little treat to entice them to go into the crate. So what we use is just a simple little piece of cheese, and you want to tell them to go night-night, or whatever your choice of phrase is, and it teaches them really, really quickly to go into the crate on their own. That's it, guys. So hope that something we said will help with your potty training process. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified for future videos. And if something in this video helped you, please give us a thumbs up. See you next time.